Every time I'm alone in the house, I hear that same dog barking again. I don't remember the first time I heard it exactly, only how it made me feel. It was late, I know that much. I was alone in the house, doing nothing important. Scrolling on my phone. Letting the television play soft background noise I wasn't watching. The kind of night where everything feels dull and harmless. Then I heard a bark, just one. Short. Sharp. Not panicked. Not playful. Just enough to make me pause. I live alone. I've never owned a dog. I don't even like them much, honestly. So the sound came like a glitch in the night, something that didn't belong. It wasn't close, more like it came from behind the house, out past the fence. I paused whatever video I was half watching and listened. Nothing, no second bark. No footsteps. Just silence. A little too silent. Now that I noticed it, I got up and walked to the kitchen window. From there, I can see a small patch of woods that borders my backyard. Nothing unusual. Tree swaying gently. Fence intact. Darkness untouched. I waited, trying not to feel foolish. And when nothing happened, I went to bed. The next night, I heard it again. This time, 2 barks, still distant. Still alone. But unmistakable. I stood by the window longer that time. I scanning the tree line. No movement. But I felt something watching me, and maybe that sounds stupid, but there's this pressure you can't quite explain. Like a gaze you can't trace. Like being in a room someone just left, but the air hasn't settled yet. It happened again the night after that. 3 barks, closer now. I don't know why, but I started locking every window in the house. Even the ones on the 2nd floor. I kept telling myself it was just a stray. Some lost mutt wandering the woods. But deep down, I didn't believe that. There was something about the sound. Too clean. Too deliberate. Not the erratic yelping of a real dog, but something that felt like a signal. Like it was meant to be heard, like it was calling me, and the worst part, every time I hear it, I was completely alone. Do you want me to continue with the next part? I started leaving every light in the house on. Not because I thought it would protect me, just because the dark had started to feel alive. The barking didn't stop. 4 times the next night. Then 5. Each bark a little closer, a little sharper. Like it wasn't just calling out, it was tracking me. At first, I tried to ignore it. I told myself it was some stray that liked the woods, that it would lose interest. But deep down, I knew better. The sound didn't feel natural. It wasn't random. It came only when the house was silent. When I was alone. When I was most aware of myself, I tested something one night. I turned off the back porch light. Just to see, and that's when I heard it. 6 barks, no longer distant. This time, it sounded like it was standing just beyond the glass. Right outside my bedroom window. I didn't look. I didn't move. I just stood still, holding my breath. There was this weight in the air, like something waiting. Pressing against the wall, I turned the light back on, slowly. Nothing, but I swear I could feel the heat of breath on the window. Like something had just been there. Close enough to touch. It hasn't made a sound during the day. Only at night. Only when I'm truly alone, and now, I'm starting to feel like this thing. This dog I've never seen. It doesn't just know where I am, it knows who I am. After the 6th bark, I started hearing other things. It wasn't barking anymore. Just sounds. Small ones at first. A thump against the wall. The creak of floorboards when I wasn't walking. A low shuffle, like something brushing the outside of the house. It felt like the walls were listening. I locked every door. Every window. Pulled furniture in front of them, even though I knew it wouldn't matter. This thing whatever it was, wasn't breaking in. It didn't have to, it was already inside. I began sleeping in the closet, tightly packed between boxes and coats. It was the only place without windows. No open view. No place for it to watch me. The first night in there, everything was silent. No barks. No breathing, but in the morning, when I came out, the living room window was open. I hadn't opened it. I know I hadn't. I locked it again. This time, I placed a chair under the handle. The next night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the closet with the door cracked open, watching the hallway. Around 3 a.m., I heard footsteps. Not from the hall, above me, my attic, slow. Heavy. Back and forth, there's nothing up there. Just dust and beams. No one should be walking, and when I checked in the morning, there was a long scratch across the attic floor, a single claw mark. It wasn't trying to get in anymore, it was already here. After the sixth bark, something shifted, it stopped making sense. The sounds changed, less like a dog, more like something trying to mimic one. I stopped hearing barks and started hearing thumps. Scrapes. Shifts in the air. The kind of noises that don't belong in a house. I blocked every door. Nailed 2 windows shut. Moved into the closet permanently. No windows. No open views. I kept a flashlight in one hand and a bat in the other. Not because I thought I could fight it, just to feel like I could do something. It waited until everything was quiet. That night, the sound came from inside the wall. Right behind me, slow scratching. Long, deep. Like claws dragging across the wood from the other side. Not wild or angry, controlled. It knew exactly where I was. I pressed my back against the opposite side of the closet, holding my breath. The scratching continued, steady and slow, then stopped as suddenly as it began. I didn't sleep. In the morning, I found the spot. A long crack in the wall, thin but visible. The surface was warm. That was the day I told my sister. I didn't explain much. Just said something strange had been happening. That I felt like something was following me, something I couldn't see. She didn't laugh, she just asked, very quietly, like what used to follow Dad. I didn't answer right away, because I remembered, suddenly, that he used to say the same thing. But no one ever believed him. I hadn't thought about my dad in years. He died when I was a teenager. Heart attack, they said. Sudden, unexpected, alone in the garage, but my sister reminded me of something. He used to talk about a dog, not one he owned. One that followed him. He said he'd hear it outside when no one else was around. Said he'd feel it watching through the windows. That it was quiet. Patient. That it never barked, but he always knew when it was there. We all thought he was losing it, but now. I'm not so sure. I called my sister again. Asked if she remembered anything else. She hesitated, then told me he used to sleep in the basement sometimes. Said it made him feel lower than the dog. Like hiding underground helped. I haven't stepped foot in my basement in weeks. That night, I tried. I stood at the top of the stairs for a long time. The air was wrong, heavy, unmoving. Like the space down there had sealed itself off. Still, I went down. It was cold. Too cold. And quiet, but not empty. You know that feeling when you walk into a room someone just left? That leftover presence? The basement reeked of that. I stayed down there for less than 5 minutes. But when I came back up, my front door was unlocked. I locked it. Triple checked. I always do, and now I don't know which part scares me more, that something opened it, or that something wanted me to know. Later that night, I heard the scratching again. Not from the wall this time, but from under the floor. I lay on the carpet, pressed my ear to the ground. There it was. Just beneath me, slow. Deliberate. Like it was circling. It doesn't care about the doors anymore. It's moving underneath. I didn't sleep after I heard it under the floor. How could I? I lay in bed with the lights on, every muscle tense, waiting to hear it again. But there was only silence. Not peaceful, just stretched thin, like the house was holding its breath. The next day, I tried to go outside. I thought maybe fresh air would help. Sunlight. People. Anything normal. But the moment I touched the front doorknob, a cold shot through my arm. Not like fear, like ice. Real. Physical. I shut the door. It doesn't want me to leave. I started noticing more things. The mirrors in the hallway had fog on them, even when the heat wasn't running. I'd walk past them and see shapes that didn't match mine. Slight shifts. Too quick to focus on. One night, the power went out, only for a few seconds, but long enough to make me feel seen. As soon as the lights came back, I heard it again. The breath, not outside. Not behind a wall, right behind me. I didn't turn. Couldn't. Just stood in place, skin burning, waiting for something to move. But nothing did. Not right away. Later, I noticed something else. In the hallway near the closet, there were scratches on the floor, small at first. Then deeper. They looked like claw marks, almost deliberate. They were forming a shape, a spiral. It hasn't spoken. It hasn't shown its face, but I know what it's doing. It's wearing me down. Every night I get a little more tired. A little more numb. My thoughts blur. My hands shake. I forget things I shouldn't forget, and somehow. I think that's the point. It's waiting for the moment I stop resisting. I used to keep notes. Little things, just to track the strange events. Scratches, sounds, open windows. I don't know when I stopped writing them down. I looked through my notebook yesterday. Half the pages are blank. The weird part? I don't remember tearing any out. I know I wrote more. I remember writing more. And now they're gone. I've started hearing my name whispered in the hallway, always low. Always soft. Never angry. Almost. Sympathetic, like it's trying to comfort me. I cover my ears, but it finds other ways. Flickering lights. Dreams I don't remember when I wake. Doors I swore I locked standing open in the morning. I don't feel safe in the closet anymore. The wall that cracked? It's wider now. I can see the blackness inside. No wires. No beams. Just dark. Deep, unnatural dark. Sometimes, I think I hear breathing coming from it. Sometimes. I think it's my own. The spiral on the floor keeps growing. Every morning, the claw marks stretch further. I tried scrubbing them away once. They came back that same night, exactly the same. This house is turning against me and my own reflection doesn't move when I do. It lags. Then catches up. I try not to look anymore. I called my sister again. I needed to hear someone. Someone real, but when she answered, her voice was wrong. Hollow. Off by just enough to twist my stomach. She said she never got my last call. I remember the conversation. Word for word. Now I'm starting to wonder, what if I never called her at all? What if it answered instead? I stopped counting the days. Time slips in this house now. The sky outside changes, but I don't feel it. I eat, I sleep, at least I think I do, but nothing feels real anymore. I hear footsteps when I blink, whispers when I breathe. The spiral reached my bedroom. Thin line scratched into the floor, perfect and curved. I wake up some mornings with one drawn beside the bed, deeper than before. I know I didn't make it. I don't sleepwalk. I can't. The walls groan like they're tired of standing. Like something inside is pushing. I see shadows in places there's no light. Corners that flicker even when nothing moves. And once, just once, I swear I saw something looking back at me from the mirror. Not me. Not a person, something with eyes that didn't blink. I tried to leave again. I packed a bag, opened the front door, and stepped onto the porch, but everything outside looked wrong. The colors were off. Too bright. Like overexposed film. The street was there, but it felt distant. Tilted. Unreal. I stepped back inside without thinking. As soon as I did, I heard it again. The bark, just one, closer than ever. It came from the hallway. I turned slowly. There was nothing there, but the spiral was now on the wall. Not scratched, drawn. Black, swirling ink. Wet. Fresh. It wasn't hiding anymore. It was claiming the space. I whispered out loud, just once, "What do you want?" And from deep within the house, I heard something move. Slow. Heavy, then, the sound of claws. Dragging across the ceiling. I don't remember falling asleep. But I woke up on the floor, no blankets, no pillow. Just the cold wood beneath me. I was in the hallway, not my room. The spiral was beside me, fresh, drawn in something darker than ink. My mouth was dry. My arms ached. I couldn't tell if I had been crying or screaming. Maybe both. The mirrors were all covered, every one of them, draped with sheets or towels. I didn't do that, or at least, I don't remember doing it, but part of me was glad, because lately, my reflection has started smiling when I don't. The closet is no longer safe. The crack in the wall has widened into a hole. I can see into it now. Not a crawl space. Not wiring, just black. Open and pulsing. And sometimes, I think something blinks from inside it. I started hearing noises that weren't mine, my footsteps, repeated a beat too late, my breath, echoing back after I exhaled, and once, I heard my own voice, calling my name from another room. It sounded tired. Hollow, wrong. I stood frozen, waiting for it to speak again. It didn't. Just silence. But when I stepped into the living room, my phone lit up. One new voicemail, from my number. I didn't play it. I couldn't. I just deleted it and threw the phone across the room. I think it's learning me, mimicking. I speak less now. I don't want to give it more to copy, but I still hear my voice at night. It comes from the walls. Sometimes it's crying, sometimes it's laughing, and sometimes it says things I've never said, but always in my voice. And the spiral, it's not just on the floor or the walls anymore, it's under my skin. The spiral spread across the ceiling last night. I watched it form, line by line, without anyone touching it. It moved like ink in water, slow and smooth, until the entire ceiling above my bed was black. Breathing, it moves now. Slight pulses, like it's alive. Like it's watching me sleep, if I even sleep anymore. I don't know when I last dreamed. Or ate. Or went outside. I've stopped using lights. The house feels calmer in the dark, as if it prefers shadows. I light a single candle at night. I think it likes the flicker. The phone hasn't worked in days. No signal. No power. Just a glowing screen that shows only one thing, my face. Even when I'm not touching it. Even when it's off. Sometimes, the face blinks. I've given up on escaping. There's no door now, just a wall where the front door used to be. Seamless. Smooth. As if it was never there. I don't panic anymore. Panic takes energy, it feeds on energy, and I can feel it getting stronger. The breathing from the crack is constant now. I've stopped checking. Stopped hiding. It doesn't want me to run, it wants me still, it wants me to surrender, and tonight, I think I finally will. I sat on the floor beside the spiral. I traced it with my fingers. It was warm, and as I sat there, I heard my voice again, speaking from every wall. It said, "You're home now." And I smiled, because I finally understood. I was never alone in this house, I was never being followed. It wasn't outside trying to get in, it was always inside me, and now it's not hiding anymore.